I've gone down this Wikipedia rabbit hole learning about the creator of Barbie, Ruth Handler, who is a character in the movie. Her ghost talks to Barbie and mentions that she had these IRS problems and tax problems. Ruth Handler was a fascinating real person. She was a female executive who founded Mattel with her husband in the 1930s and invented Barbie in the 1950s. Her character in the movie mentions to Barbie that she had all these IRS issues. And so I went and looked it up, and it's actually not IRS issues. It was SEC issues. In the 1970s, the Securities and Exchange Commission, they investigated Ruth and other former Mattel executives and alleged that senior management had issued statements that were deliberately false to give an illusion that they had impressive sales growth in 1971, 72, and 73, and that they may have overstated their pre-tax income of $34 million in 1971 by as much as $15 million to $20 million. So like half of their income was potentially overstated due to fraud. In 1978, Ruth and 4 former Mattel executives were indicted by a federal grand jury for conspiracy, mail fraud, and making false financial statements to the SEC, the New York Times reported. Ruth pleaded no contest and received a $57,000 fine and 2,500 community service hours. That's a lot of community service. But she didn't go to jail. But
did you read about like what the scam was? Were they just inflating the number, or were they doing some fake receipts, like saying they sold more Barbies than they did, like, or did this just made up top line?
I don't know what the details are. Maybe our friends on the Oh My Fraud podcast can look into that. But all I was able to find was that they overstated their pre-tax income at Mattel, and so the SEC came after them. So that's your connection, Barbie and accounting.
And then the Hollywood writers just decide, let's toss the IRS under the bus.
Yeah, I guess maybe they thought that like people wouldn't know what the SEC is. That's the funny part, is that the reference in the movie is to tax and IRS problems, but I didn't find any of that. It looks like the problems were with the SEC and financial reporting. So once again, Hollywood gets it wrong when it comes to accounting.